Hello everyone, I'm Paul and this is problem 3488. Closest equal element queries. This is a medium problem and next I will show you my thought process and a reasonably intuitive solution. We are given a circular array nums and an array queries. So let's say that we are given this input. For each query, we need to find the minimum distance between the current query and any other index in the array which corresponds to a number that's equal to nums at the current query. And if we don't have that index in the array, the result of the query is -1 instead. Our job is to return an array answer of the same size as queries, where each answer is the result of the corresponding query. So let's say that this is nums, these are the queries, and we are looking at this query. This means that we are looking at this number, nums at index 0. And now we need to find the distance from this index to the closest one. Here we have 2 more ones. If we decide to move right, we can reach this index number 2 in 2 steps. And if we decide to move left, given that this is a circular array, we can reach this one in 1, 2, 3 steps. And the minimum between 2 and 3 is 2. So the result of this query is 2. Now we continue with this query. In nums at index 3 we have a 4. So we are looking for the closest 4 to index 3. And this is the only 4 in this array, so the result of this query is -1. The next query is 5, so we go to nums at index 5 and the number is 3. So we are looking for the distance from index 5 to the closest 3. Here we have this 3 to the right and this 3 to the left. We are 1, 2, 3, 4 steps away from this 3 and 1 step away from this 3. So the result of this query is 1. We put a 1 here. Now we have already iterated every query, so this is the result. Let's say that we are looking at this query, which corresponds to this number in nums. We are looking for the closest one to index 0. So maybe you are thinking about iterating every index from this index to the right to find the closest one, and then iterating every index from this index to the left, remember that this is a circular array, to find the closest one once again. And then you can keep the minimum between these two distances, meaning 2 and 3. In this case the result is 2, so we put 2 in the final result. And this is fine technically, but it's very inefficient. Why? Well, because we are iterating every number on the way. If we decide to move right, next we are here and then we are here. If we decide to move left, we have to go through this number, then this number, then this number, and we can have up to 10 to the power of 5 queries. So this is very inefficient. We need to think about something else. So my first intuition was that we can have a map where keys are unique numbers in nums. Here we have the numbers 1, 3, and 4. And the value corresponding to each key is an array with indices in which we have each key. So we have number 1 at indices 0, 2, and 4. We have number 3 at indices 1, 5, 6. And we have number 4 at index 3. And now this is all we need. We have the numbers in order. For example, if we look at 1, we know that the first number 1 is at index 0, the next one is at 2, the next one is at 4. So if we have this query, we are starting here, and we know that the next one corresponds to the next index in this array. It's at index 2. And the previous one, given that this is a circular array, corresponds to the last index in this array. It's at index 4. So if we have this query, we start from 0. And we know that we have another number 1 here at index 2. And there are 2 ways to reach this index from index 0. We can move either right or left, because once again this is a circular array. If we decide to move right, the distance is given by 2 minus 0. This is equal to 2. And if we decide to move left, the distance is given by the total number of elements in nums. Here we have 7 elements, minus the distance that we have to the element if we decide to move right. 7 minus 2 is equal to 5. This means that if we decide to move left from index 0, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps away from index 2. Okay? Now if we start from here, we have another number 1 step to the left of this index in this array. We have another number 1 at index 4. And there are 2 ways to reach this index. We can move either right or left. So if we decide to move right, we do 4 minus 0. This is equal to 4. And if we decide to move left, we need to take the total amount of elements, 7, minus the distance that we have to this index if we decide to move right. 7 minus 4 is equal to 3. And this makes sense because we are 1, 2, 3 steps away from index 4. The minimum among these 4 numbers is 2, so the result of this query is 2. Now let's continue with the next query. The number is 3, so we're looking at this index which corresponds to number 4. If we go to our map at 4, we have only 1 4 at index 3. And given that we need at least 2 elements, the result of this query is minus 1. The next query is 5, so we are looking at this index which corresponds to number 3. If we go to our map at 3, here we have 3 indices, 1, 5, and 6. And the query is 5, so we have to start from this position. Now, we have 1 3 to the left and another one to the right. Let's start with this one. We have 2 ways to go from this index to this index. One is we can move left and do 5 minus 1. The result is equal to 4. The other one is we can move to the right and do the total amount of elements here, 7 minus the result of this distance. 7 minus 4 is equal to 3. Now, we have another 3 to the right, so there are 2 ways to reach this index. If we decide to move right, we do 6 minus 5, this is equal to 1, and if we decide to move left, we take the total amount of elements, 7 minus this result, 1. The result is 6. The minimum among these 4 numbers is 1, so the result of this query is 1. So in this case, we return an array with 2 minus 1 and 1. And this looks fine, but we are missing something very important. Let's step back for a moment. We are looking at this query, which corresponds to this index, and the element is 3. So we are looking at this key. We have 3 indices with number 3, and we are starting from this position. Now the question is, how do we know what's the starting point? How do we know that we have to start from here? Well, maybe you are thinking about iterating every element in this array until you find the current query. The thing is that here we can have up to 10 to the power of 5 elements, and this is very inefficient. We need to think about something else. The key to solve this is binary search. We can use the current query as the target, and we are running this on this array. So now we are checking what's the starting point in big O of log n time complexity, where n is the size of this array. So now this is efficient enough. In case you know how this works, let's say that we have this sorted array. It's very important to have this sorted. And let's say that the target is 3. This means that we are looking for the index corresponding to number 3. There are 2 ways to do this. One is we can iterate the index from left to right, and whenever we find 3, that's it. The problem is that this requires big O of n time complexity, which is very inefficient. That's why we are using this. What we are doing instead here is we can split this array in 2 parts and check if this number is in left or right. In this case, it's on the left part, so we can forget about the right part. Next, we have this, and we can repeat the exact same process. We split this in 2 parts and check where do we have number 3. In this case, it's on the left part, so we can forget about this number. And now we are here. This is the only number, so this is the result. And by doing this, now we are splitting this array in 2 every time until we find our target. So this requires big O of log n time complexity, where n is the size of the array. So if the query is 5, we are looking at this index, the number is 3, we go to our map, here we have 3 indices for this number, and we need to get the starting position of this query. So we run a binary search on this array using 5 as the target, and this will give us index 1. From here we know that one index to the left we have the previous 3, and one index to the right we have the next 3. And now we can implement what we saw seconds ago. Time complexity for this approach is big O of n plus q log n. Why? Well, because we have to build this map, which requires big O of n time complexity. Remember that we are iterating numbers, and then we have to iterate queries, and for each query we are running a binary search on numbers to find the starting position. And space complexity is big O of n plus q. Why? Well, because this map has a size of n and we need to return an array of size q. So with this in mind, let's see how to code this up. First, n is the length of nums. We have a map. This is a default dictionary with a default value of an empty array, and we need to fill the map. So for I in range n, every time map at nums I dot append I. The result is initially empty, and now we can iterate every query. So for q in queries, we are looking at a target, which is nums at the current query, and we are looking at an array, which is map at the target. Now the size of this array is length of array, and now we can check if the size is smaller or equal to 1, the result of the query is -1. So result.append -1. Else if the size is exactly equal to 2, this means that we only have 2 elements in the current array, so we have the element corresponding to the current query plus 1. In this case, we can say that the distance is the absolute difference of array 0 minus array 1, and we can append to the result the minimum among this distance and the total amount of elements in the array nums minus the distance. Remember the drawing. Else, this means that we have more than 2 elements in the current array. First, we need to get the initial index of the current query, and for this we use binary search. So we can say that I is equal to bisect left on the array using query as the target. And now from this index we can get the previous and next values. So previous is equal to array I minus 1. Remember that this might be out of bounds, but we have a circular array, so here we use this modulo the size of the array. For next, we do something very similar. This is array I plus 1. Once again, this might be out of bounds, so we use this modulo the size of the array. Now we can say that current is initially positive infinity, and we can say that distance number 1 is equal to the absolute difference of previous minus array I. And now we can say that current is the minimum between what we have in current, which is initially infinity, distance number 1, and the total amount of elements minus distance 1. Regarding next, we can do something very similar. So d2 is equal to the absolute difference of next and array I. And now we can say that current is the minimum between what we have in current, distance 2, and the total amount of elements minus distance 2. After all of this, we can add current to the result, and now we can go down here and return result. So this is the entire code. Let's submit this and see if it works. As you can see, this works and it's efficient. So if you found this useful, please drop a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.